What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and we're back with EXO2. I'm not going to do the long intro. We're just getting right into this, because this is going to take a good bit of time. So, the team we're using is as such, okay? I have the new Haruhime, I've got Light Lazar, I've got Finn, who's only +1, and he's kind of my litmus test for units on this one. Melia and Galamus, neither one of them really need much of an introduction as to why they're here. Same with Fianna. Now, Fianna being my maximum broken unit, she's the one who's going to be on the end. She's the one who's going to be most rugged. You don't need to have her maximum broken, but it would definitely help. Whoever you have maximum broken or whoever you have at the highest level, put them in the last spot. And then, of course, sack everybody else. So, or say sack everybody. Sack Melia and Galamus. So, the long and the short of it is, for armaments, you want your best possible armaments, and you want the dark coat. You have to have the dark coat for this. If you do not have the dark coat, you're just going to get clobbered when he does his essay. So it is going to suck. So make sure you farm up some dark coats. I have mine ascended, and I don't know if that was really necessary, as you'll see when we get in here, but those dark coats do absolutely save you. And you got to make sure that when you craft them, they either craft or rehammer until you get coats that actually have the 20% dark resistance, because they can actually craft without the 20% dark. So if you don't get that 20% dark, you really got to go back and either recraft or rehammer them. You need that down 20% dark on their coats. So let's jump in. Let's not waste any time. Haruhime is going to come out of the gate with her skill 1. We got to get all that stuff right here, right in the front. We need that, because that's going to be a big defensive buff, and some other buffs as well as the SA gauge charge. We need that SA gauge charge. We need it early, we need it fast, and we need it often. Okay? I don't have time for you to no signal on me, so let's just... come on, phone. Of course, when we're like, we got to get this done quick, fast, and in a hurry, it's going to mess up. There we go. I'd edit that out, but that's more time. Lazar. Lazar is going to come out of the gate with, normally I do his skill 1, but I'm actually do skill 2. Now, skill 1 has a nice heal to it, and we're going to use that fairly often. It also has a physical and magic resistance buff, but we don't really need it right now, so we're going to save that for a little bit. Plus, Melia is going to do her skill 2, which is going to do strength and magic down 45%. Also reduces dex, but the strength and magic is what we're most worried about. Now, the debuffs will get removed at some point, but by the time the debuffs get removed, we'll be fine. And at that point, we're going to actually reapply those with Lazar's skill 3. So we got to make sure Lazar stays pretty good in MP. And we'll get to that here in a bit. But we skipped over Finn, and Finn, once again, he could do his skill 1, but it's really expensive on the MP side, and my unit's only +1, which means he's lacking a lot of MP. So we're going to do skill 2. We're going to save that skill 3 for a little bit into the fight. So, here we go. Oof. The downside is Melia almost always gets murdered there. Because I'm using the swamp anklet on her, the swap anklet on her, the revolving amulet, because I'm using that on her, basically she doesn't have the dark resistance. So she gets clobbered pretty hard here. But don't worry, that just means I'm going to get a B clear instead of an A clear. And I'm fine with that. Her taking a little bit of extra damage actually is kind of a distraction, so my other units don't, so we're good there. I'm very, very happy with that. That is going to be a B clear, not an A clear, but in the end of the day, this is a run just to get the Iris rewards and not much more. We'll come back, we'll talk about the S clear here, but for now, this is what we've got. Now, we need to go ahead and replicate buffs and debuffs, so I'm going to do skill 2 with Haruhime. There's 3 turns on this, 1 turn for the 1 unit resistance and all unit resistance, so we need to keep that in play. So we're going to go ahead and replicate that with Haruhime. Okay? Now, Lazar, I'm going to go ahead and save, let's see, physical magic. We're going to save that. I'm going to do his skill 3. It's a big single target hit. It's not the end of the world, but we definitely do need to make sure everything stays in place. So we're going to do that. Skill 3 with him. Same with Finn, because Finn's skill 3 is something we need to apply to Fianna as well. So we're going to do single target with him. And then Galamus, of course, is going to do the all-in single target down 40% plus stun resistance. The downside is Fianna's not going to have stun resistance, but when she does get hit, which is going to be rare, but when she does get hit, we should be mostly okay. We're going to add something here in a moment that's going to make things a lot easier for Fiona to do her job. In fact, right now we're going to do it. So I'm going to take Haruhime and I'm going to do Haruhime's SA. That's going to give Strength Magic and SA gauge charge increases to everybody. It's also going to give 4 actions with a high HP heal and ailment resistance 60%. We need to keep that ailment resistance in play or things are going to suck. We really, really, really need that. It also does ailment cure on all allies, but it's not really that important. There are times where we could probably use that defensively, but honestly, the 60% ailment resistance, so long as we keep that in play, is going to be more than enough. Alternatively, Fiona, I would love to do her skill 1 here. And actually, I will only because I need the extra action for her. And I'm not worried about her MP, honestly. We're going to do enough MP restoration, so it's going to be fine. Even though it is kind of, the SA charge and all of this is kind of redundant at that point, it will help out drastically. Now, both Lazar and Finn are going to go ahead and do their skill 1s. Those are big defensive items, so... Or, I'm sorry, skill 3s, I should say. So, Lazar, Finn, and Fiona are all skill 3, and we're SAing with Haruhime. We're Haruhime with SA. We're SAing with Haruhime. So, boom. Now, once again, I want to emphasize, this is going to help produce damage, but damage is not our fundamental goal here. We took a big hit there, but with all the heal and everything we got, I think we're going to be fine. Now, what I can do is I can actually go down here and boost, let's see, I could boost status buffs and debuffs. I think I'm going to do that one more turn with Haruhime, just to kind of make sure that buffs and debuffs don't go anywhere. Like, we got a few turns left on those, but I think we're going to kind of make sure that they all stay in play. So, with everybody else, we're going to go ahead and do a big skill 1, single target hit, but with Fiona, I'm going to do her skill 2. That is going to remove the strength and magic buff on her opponent. This is the big downside to this. We don't have anybody who flat out removes the strength and magic buff, but once it's down for 2 turns, basically we tank 1 hit, and then Fiona wipes it out. So, if you want to read this here, it is a fast, super light physical attack with temporary strength boost, altering counter rate, status buffs, and allies' status debuffs. So that means all those status buff, every status buff it has, that's 2 turns, is instantly gone. And because it's a fast skill, it happens right at the start. Now, we do need a good heal here for Fiona. So actually, I take that back. I'm going to do skill 3 one more time here. That's going to give a nice heal skill, and that should get everybody back to where we need them. Now, we are hit with poison, and poison hurts bad. So it's a slight failure of the 60%, but I think we're ultimately going to be okay with the double heals. So let's see what happens here. Yep. Looks good to me. Yeah. And the poison is gone. So we're in the good now. Okay. So now, turn 5, we're basically just going to do single target skills and, hammer down on our opponent, basically until we get to the point at which he removes debuffs. Then we've got to frantically reapply debuffs. So, I'm going to go ahead and do single targets with everybody, up to and including Haruhime. Now, Haruhime's single target isn't the greatest single target out here, but it does MP restoration, and we're going to need some MP regen for the long run of this game, because we are running quite a few turns on this. Okay? So, turn 6, same basic idea. Now, he does have his strength and magic buffs back, so let's see, that's for 2 turns. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do skill 2 with Fiona again, and get rid of those. If we don't do that, the SA he does at the end of this turn is not going to feel great. Boom. 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 There we go. If you don't remove those strength and magic buffs on turn 6, you could pretty much count this out. Also, if you don't have the dark coats, I've gone in here with perfect health with this team, and without the dark coat, everybody dies. In fact, the funny one was Fiona died, and Fiona's like my tankiest unit. So the dark coats make a huge difference on that attack. Now that's the big one. That's what I'm really most concerned about. After this, then it becomes a breeze. All right, so what we've got to do is we've got to reapply debuffs. We just need to watch and make sure that he doesn't buff. Once he buffs, we've got to use Fiona's skill 2 and wipe that out once again. So, She's got no extra actions, so we're going to go ahead and do her skill 3 to get extra actions. Let's see. We got the light resistance debuff there. We've got, let's see, strength of magic down 40% there. Let's see. Is there anything here we need? That gives extra actions. So, let's see. Skill and guard rate. 40% HP heal on allies. So what we'll do is we'll do skill 3 here, and then we'll do skill 2 because we need that. That heal on from Lazar. But main thing here is with Haruhime, I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. She should be running out of her extra action. Kokonoi has 1 turn left, but if I rebuff this now, Sukuna's not going to be active. So we basically are 1 turn without Sukuna. But the nice part is this gives physical and magic resistance 40%. It is a defensive buff, but that should actually already be in play if I remember correctly. Yep, physical and magic resistance 40% is already in play, so we don't really need that. The HP regen for 3 turns is nice. Once again, we can't do that on this turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and do skill 2. Okay? So skill 2 with Haruhime. Skill 3 with Lazar for those big debuffs. Finn. Finn needs the light resistance down, so we're going to do skill 2. And once again, skill 3 with Fianna. Let's go. Okay. A lot of good heal skills there. And once again, we're getting hit pretty hard, but we've got a lot of healing out here. Ooh. We do not have the HP regen, which is super. See, and this is one of those turns where it's like, this hurts, this sucks. So we need some fast heals. So we're going to go back to Lazar's skill 3. We're going to do a skill 3 one more time for a quick, fast heal. I'm also going to do Sukuna here. This is going to give HP regen every turn. I don't believe it does a heal on this turn. Let's see. No, yeah. So allies SA gets charge gain, and for 3 turns, 40% HP heal, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna do an instantaneous heal here. Now this will also give us a heal, but that's kind of redundant. We don't necessarily need that. So we're just gonna go ahead and utilize the skill 3 heal there. Let's see, Fianna. 4 turns, so she's gonna give status buffs and debuffs there. So you don't have to worry about that. Strength and magic are not buffed with our opponent, so we just need some defensive buffs, and that's going to give us some defensive buffs as well. Probably could have actually done that this turn. Done it 2 turns in a row, because now that I'm looking at our MP, that might have been smarter. It probably wouldn't have hurt us nearly as bad. So turn 7, if I went back and redid it, I would definitely do that instead. That skill, basically, we'd have to do that 2 turns in a row, but she's got enough MP and we're going to get enough MP restoration. I think that actually would have been fine, but I think we'll get out of this. I think Fianna's beefy enough, and once this gets applied, because this is a fast skill, this is a fast skill, let's see, that is a fast skill, and that is also a fast skill, so I think we'll be good. Now, he doesn't have any buffs or debuffs, so that's not really going to do us any good, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do her skill 1, the single target attack. Let's go. And with any luck at all, we'll get those heals will cure us, and Haruhime will get our counter heals and we'll be good to go. The problem is that poison. That poison hurts so badly. Oh, Haruhime, heal yourself, girl. Okay, the amulet's gone. That's great news. We're getting hit pretty hard with the poison. And that super sucks, but we should still have, we still have 60% ailment resistance. So unfortunately, we're just having a bad batch of luck with that poison. Did not have this with the run last night, but it's kind of 50-50. Like last night's run, we were really clean. We didn't have a huge amount of problem with poison. We didn't have a huge amount of problem with the stun resistance and all that. So unfortunately, we're just having an unfortunate run here. Now he does stun. That's another reason that I didn't mention it earlier in passing. He does stun. That's another reason that we use Galamus in the front, because that's stun resistance. Fianna doesn't have the stun resistance, but doing that early SA with Haruhime gives her that 60% ailment resistance, which is going to help out drastically. Unfortunately, that we are getting hit with the poison pretty hard. So I'm going to go one more turn, get a quad SA. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, do we need buff replication? Let's see, with Lazar, I'm going to let's see. It would be redundant to do this, but it is an extra action. It is an extra heal. Let's just give that a shot. I'm going to do Megiri to kind of get buff replication out there a little further. I don't think our MP is in dire straits. Let's see. We're going to go back and do single target with him. Everyone should have the KO save with the exception of, let's see. Actually, looks like he lost it, and I bet she lost it too. So I take that back. I'm going to do skill 3 to get one more KO save out there, just because of reasons. Also gives it an extra action there. So after that, we need to focus on Haruhime doing her MP regen, and she's going to go ahead and just do her single target one more time, because unless I'm mistaken, yeah, next turn we have to rebuff her skills. So let's go. But next turn we're going to do SAs, so it ain't going to be that big of a deal. Perfect. Got all of our heals out. We're good to go, and we've got our quad SAs. So let's just go. Quad SA ahoy. This should hit the opponent pretty hard. He does have the strength and magic buff, so we are going to try our best to tank that. I would love to tell you guys that to remove it this turn and then wait, but you could play it safe and do that with Fianna. But I've got full health, I've got a lot of healing, I've got a lot of HP regen, I've got a counter healer, and I've got, like I said, I've got full health. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it. Now, could very well be that I suffer because of this. But we'll figure it out. We'll play it by ear. Okay. 1.4 out of Lazar, 4.0 out of Finn. And the thing I want you to bear in mind, Finn got a 4.0 million. And Finn is +1. Can you imagine what he's going to do at max limit break? Finn's going to be mandatory for the S clear. All right. Oh, we took no damage, which is actually good. I would rather that. I don't necessarily need the counters here. Okay. SAs. I don't remember there being a second SA, but it is what it is. Okay. In hindsight, I wish I had saved the quad until turn 11. I really wish I had saved the quad till turn 11. Because, well, I don't know, actually. Did anybody do an ammo there? Maybe not. I see a debuff there. I don't think we actually had a debuff. Maybe we had physical and magic down. It's just going to run this out a little further. But, man. I kind of wish I had saved those now. I really, really, really do. It's okay, though. We just need to reapply debuffs, so I'm going to go ahead and use skill 2 with Haruhime. Probably need to start doing skill 3 just to get everything out there. But, let's see. We're going to do this for the physical magic resistance. I'm sorry, physical and magic debuff. We're going to do this for the light debuff. And we're going to do... Let's see. He's still got some buffs, doesn't he? 1 turn on magic resistance, physical resistance. You could do this to get rid of it. It's not really necessary. Yeah, but we're going to do it anyway. And let's go. Now, once again, Haruhime with her replication is going to be nice, but I do need to start using her for MP regen. MP regen from this point going forward is going to be super important. So we're going to go ahead and do her skill 3 there. And we're really just going to go back to doing single target with everybody. And that's going to be basically a strategy going forward. So we have physical, so we got penetration rate, strength and magic down 40%, light resistance down 40%, 1 unit, all unit, and physical resistance down. So the physical resistance is down 60%, which is nice. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, so everyone's just going to do their single targets here. Pretty straightforward. Now, I do need to watch him. He's going to do the strength buff again. But now we're at the state where we're back on the we're back on the offensive. We are just going to start doing damage upon damage upon damage upon damage. And I'm going to save here for, I think last night we wound up doing a double and then a single. I'm going to see if we can save for maybe even another quad and just see how this goes. But I'm going to base it based on how much damage Baylor starts taking. So let's see here. So that is good, but I don't need that yet. So we're just going to keep doing single target. And I'm trying to think if somebody's reapplied the 60% debuff. Okay, so right here is four additional actions. Highlight physical attack with physical resistance down 60%. So actually, I take that back. Having the SA on turn 10 was perfect because we reapply that debuff. So that's perfect, actually. I take that back. Saving the SA for turn 11 probably wouldn't have been optimal. Yes, we would have taken a little bit less damage, but with the heal and everything we got out, pretty happy with it. And knowing that Finn reapplies that debuff made it more than worthwhile. So let me go ahead and rescind that now. So that's good stuff. That's actually how that 60% got reapplied. So it was applied with the extra action, not necessarily with the debuff. So good stuff. And that's, I believe, our only debuff on SA. Let's see. Strength magic. So that would remove strength and magic buffs, but physical and magic resistance down 60%. I suppose I could reapply that. We already have physical resistance down, so you know what? We don't need it. We really don't need it. So we're going to keep doing single targets. Yep, so skill 3, skill 1, skill 1, skill 1. Let's go. And we'll just build the SA back up. Now, once again, we got to keep our eyes on the health. If Haruhime needs some help with the healing, we can always use Lazar for some healing there. But by and large, pretty straightforward. But you can kind of start seeing where the dark coats are kind of necessary, because if I didn't have dark coats, then we would just be getting absolutely clobbered here. Okay, and I believe after this turn I've got to reapply everything. The odd part is, even though it says 1 turn on that action, normally we reapply that buff. I could do that with SA, reapply it, but the honest answer is here, guys, if you try to reapply... So, case in point, hers is called... I don't know what her SA is actually called. It doesn't tell me what it's called. But her skill 3 is her extra action. If I see that her SA extra action has 1 turn left, then basically the long and the short of it is... Oh, I didn't even notice that. Dark attribute resistance down 50%. I probably need to remove that, but I want to get her extra action out. So... if you're getting killed, if you're getting clobbered, I didn't even notice the debuff down there. I didn't notice he debuffed dark resistance, so you probably need to pay attention to that if you're getting hit pretty hard and remove that. Thankfully, I've turtled so hard, it's not really a factor in my game. But as stated, if I had 1 turn left on the extra skill, so like, was it... If I wanted to reapply Sukuna here and Kokono, which is her extra skill, if that was in play and I tried to do Sukuna, I don't believe it actually would apply. I think the extra you get 1 extra action. I don't believe, unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe you can stack them, at least best to my knowledge. So if you have 1 turn left on Kokono, save your Sukuna for the following turn. Yes, you go 1 turn without an extra action, but the nice part is at least then, you know, it's only 1 turn without coverage, rather than wasting a turn, hope you get the coverage, and then spending all that MP for nothing. I hope that makes sense. So on this turn, I'm going to go and do Sukuna. That's going to give us her extra actions. Let's see. Yep, because she needs it. I'm going to go ahead and do her extra action there. Let's see. His extra action is a heal, and we definitely need that, so we're going to do that. And let's see. His extra action... Let's see. His extra action is right here. We've got enough MP to make that work, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. So, apply all the extra actions, and then we're basically going to save up for that quad SA. And there we go. Nice part is with the extra heals now, we should be back to where we need to be. Strength and magic are buffs, so we're going to do skill 2, and then we're going to go back to skill 1 with literally everyone else. So skill 1, and skill 2 with her once again to remove the strength and magic buff. And we should now be, turn 18 should be our turn for the quad SA. Man, that 44% buff, though, is pretty beefy. Actually, you know what, guys? I'm going to do a triple. Let me explain this here. So Haruhime really doesn't do anything here. She is Everything she does is kind of already in play, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to do skill 3 with her. Debuffs are good for a few turns. Buffs are all good for 1 billion turns. So I'm going to do a triple. I'm not going to do a quad. I'm going to do a triple. And that's just to get the extra damage. So our opponent here is 28 million health still, like at this stage of the game. But let's see how badly this will hurt him. Okay, 2.3 mil. About less than a tenth. But 5.1 mil. Finn is a monster, guys. Finn is an absolute monster. All right, I didn't see what Fiona did, but Fiona doesn't have the killer skill, so she would maybe do 2 mil absolute best. Okay. Excellent, and we can keep building this up. So let's do single target skills here. Everyone has their extra actions, so by the time we get the extra actions, we should be good to go. Now, does her? I don't believe her SA. Let's see, status buff was just plus 2 and all that. Okay, so it actually does. So single target, single target, single target. So I can still use the MP regen with Haru, but I don't necessarily need to. Okay, so I'll do skill 2 with her. Take it back. Fiona needs to remove the strength and magic buff, so we'll do skill 2 here and just kind of wipe that out. That'll help out. Let's go. So the nice part is, like, at the beginning of this fight, we were kind of in dire straits. We were fighting for our lives. And now, with the way this is working, we're actually pretty comfy. Like, we have very few concerns right now. 11 million left, so by the time we build this up to a triple, we could kill him. In fact, we might, emphasis on might, even be able to get a double out and do it. But I think if we go 2 more turns and get a triple, I think we'll solidify it. Turn 21 will be the next SA if I'm mathing this out right. So yeah, let's do a bunch of single target skills here. Oh, I didn't do Fiona's single target. That's going to cost me a little bit of damage. But I'm not worried, honestly. I don't think lacking Fiona's attack is going to hurt us much. Let's see. 4 mil left. We're going to go ahead and do the double. So I'm going to do, since Lazar and Finn both have the killer skills, I'm going to do these 2. Okay, 2.5 and 4.2. That was that. So 20 turns. We've defeated him. And this team is easily free to play. Now, I do want to emphasize, if you don't know how Fiona max limit broken, if you got somebody that's like +2, or I'm sorry, +4, or maybe even +3 with a really good defensive, fully maxed out. Let's go look at the team one more time and just talk about this, because I tried to keep everyone pretty close to 3 purple stars. Lazar does have all purple stars, so does Finn actually. So I take that back. They're still pretty beefy. But if you've still got, even Finn with 3 purple stars would probably still be producing 3 to 4 mil damage at best. So you can still pull this out with 3 purple stars. Fiona's my kind of strange caveat to this. Also, I want to emphasize I'm using some of the older light units, because once again, I'm using Finn instead of Ali. I'm using Erebus instead of some of the newer units because I don't have Max broken yet. So this team isn't the best of the best by any stretch. A lot of older units in here. Yes, I do have the 2 new units, but they are factors in this, but they're only factors in getting damage out. If you don't have them max broken, you can still beat this within 24, 25 turns easily. So just be cautious about that 7th turn SA. Keep your eyes open. Make sure you get all your defenses out early. And then with that first quad SA, you're going to turn this around and quick. So good luck to you guys. Let me know if this helped you out in the comments down below. If this did, I really want to see those likes in this video. And I will catch you all on the next one.